Hey guys, welcome back to D&D with Filthy and Friends, playing the repercussion game right now of decisions have consequences. So, let's see what those consequences are. I'm ready to go.
Absolutely. Vulin will say, as I said, these are a gift to show our gratitude. If you wish, if you would help us, I would be so appreciative. But I can understand if you won't. We'll be moving in the coming hours.
Perhaps we could meet you back here in a few hours.
We leave in 3. Would that
3
work?
hours, perfect.
Absolutely. If you come back, so will you be helping us then?
Absolutely.
I cannot thank you enough. She kind of grabs your arm. I thank you so much. You're helping
certainly
so
welcome.
much to my people.
My God requires that I adhere to the strongest of ethical codes, and your plight has touched me deeply.
I throw up a little bit.
So with that, she thanks you one last time. And she'll be heading back.
And I
into
assume
this
she's
room.
a hugger, right?
I'd say she gives you a hug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
She might not give me
a single tear falls onto your armor.
Which is perfect. Yep.
And with that, they will re-enter the room, having been told that you will, in fact, help them in their insurrection against the government.
Yep. And I kind of, after I confirm that we're helping him, be like, under no circumstance, don't go without us. We'll be back. You have my word on this. We will be back to this room. Don't start anything without us. We want to be here for that moment.
Absolutely. I'm sure you will be a great assistance.
Absolutely.
Men as powerful and strong as you all. With that, she is going to re-enter the room,
Great.
leaving you guys outside.
Okay.
You can make your way out of the sewer now.
Okay. And we could find our way back to this location, back to our way in?
Yes,
Perfect.
yes, you could. Although you don't know how to get in and out of the room.
Sure.
But you could make your way to the room, yes.
Okay. Perfect.
So once you're out of the sewer, Fabregas...
as we're
Yeah.
walking out of the sewer, I'm going to say, I've forgotten something. I need to go back just a sec, guys.
Can I... Is that a deception?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a deception.
100% that's a deception.
Yeah, you want to roll? Oh, no,
So
it's-
insight.
Yep.
Insight goes against.
Okay.
You can tell Fabregas is lying.
Fabregas.
About what? Not exactly, but you can assume.
I think it's just clear that he's having an attack of conscience here. This is the double cross part. We talked about this, Fabregas. There's no need to go back there. These people are going to cause death, famine.
I always assumed that there would be room for another cross, you know? You talk about the double cross, but it never seems so final until you're actually there.
I promised, same as promised to Grill, we can overthrow another government in another location, just not our government.
Couldn't we just tell them to leave, though?
They're elves.
I kick the ground and I say, playing both sides. Why can't we play 3 sides? Why aren't there any shapes with 3 sides? I go back to quiet contemplation.
You really think it's right for us to just let the city guards kill them all?
As opposed to letting them kill all the city guards?
As opposed to letting them get out of the city.
They're not going to get
Making
out
it
of
on
the city.
their own.
That wasn't their intent at all. Their intent is to overthrow government
We
here.
could
People
tell them.
die.
The
Families
governor
will die.
survived
Children
the
will
attack on
die.
his life.
The
Their cover's busted. They have to get out.
No,
They
the
could
Tifa
venture into
people.
the wilderness.
They're
found
elves.
a
They're
new
gonna do it again.
town,
It's in their nature, sneaky elves.
learn agriculture and support themselves.
They could start a sandals business.
Us elves are great at building sandals.
They'll
They're
move
not
in on our
great at
cape business.
everything. Who is?
I'd
But
call it more making than building, but yeah.
wait, sandals are great with capes.
No,
This could
this
actually
way.
be a good thing for us.
This is better in the long run.
Grilt's starting to suspect that Yugen just wants to have a bunch of elves killed.
Sandals are not great for the long run. It's true.
Arv is troubled by it all, thinking, we should let the strongest win. Let him fight.
We will, Arv.
Something tells me Yugen likes that idea.
We will.
I have a certain sympathy for that idea myself, but it should be a fair fight. We should let them know that someone's coming.
No. That's not a good idea. They'll run. If they know it's coming, they'll run. We've made our
Here.
decision. Come.
How about
Fabregas,
a test of their intelligence? We will write a puzzle, and if they can decode the puzzle, then they will work out that someone is coming.
Fabregas, we can't warn them.
Yeah, I like Fabregas' idea.
I know you have not learned writing, but I know a certain thing. I could write a little riddle. Fabregas starts to mouth the words himself. They know. Run. Just sort of visualizing how those would look on a piece of paper as he takes something out to write on.
Yeah. We have our side. We've chosen. We've already committed to it. It's the sensical, rational, reasonable side. This is your conscience fighting you. Crush it. Kill it now, and it will never bother you again.
Fabregas finishes writing that, and he feels that he is not in charge here, that he cannot make the decision himself.
Here, let me
He
take
feels that the Lord should make it for everyone, so he just tosses the paper into the sewer stream and lets it float away downstream.
Okay.
And then he feels that he has done right.
He has done his part. Roll me a D100 just in case.
All right.
You think nothing of the note.
I think that's the other note.
With that, you guys are able to leave the sewer.
That's something that happens a certain amount of the time.
No, that happens. Do you know how much? You want to know the exact percentage that happens? 2%.
Around 1.
No, I bet you the DM says 1 or 100 on that.
No, one would be
No,
terrible.
one would
One
not
would have
be
been
that.
the
One
paper
would have been
doesn't hit the water, it gets blown
one
up.
would have been guards
by
coming
Grill.
into this tunnel right now, kind of thing. They die horrible deaths. More horrible. So you guys can leave the sewer at this point.
Okay.
I'm assuming go back to the guardhouse.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You make your way there, taking alleyways quite likely. One of you is a very wanted criminal in this city. And you quickly make your way back to the guardhouse. You'll be let in without any difficulty. They knew you were coming. And you immediately get an audience with the man that you previously spoke to.
So I tell him everything that we've learned. Tell him about the location and how to get back, and tell him we can lead him there. And I also make a point to tell him that they're in a single room, all 100 of them, with no other exits, and that I think fire would be a particularly effective way to deal with the whole group of them.
Absolutely. He says, we'll keep that in mind. I'll have my men bring some oil.
Perfect. I can help hold the door if needed.
Oil? Why bring oil? I was assuming there's an abundance of shit everywhere. Perhaps you just burn that?
I wouldn't want to catch the whole sewer system on fire.
Too moist.
Well, the smell might smoke them out.
We'll
I
make
hope
sure
they're
that
used
we're
to that.
heavily armed. Enough of us there. we should be able to stamp them out. Our men have had good success around the city. We've caught many rioters and unruly individuals
Can
being
I
held.
can I ask to something I may have done back in the sewers? Just something I want to throw in there. I want to have scribbled a large note in slime on the walls that just says Dong Door Veterans, and slime on 3 lines. Dong Door Veterans. It's an anagram for Governors Not Dead. So I wanted to give them some sort of clue.
I thought it was like,
Dong Door Veterans.
is the Dong Door like a jade gate?
It might be. I mean, for all they know.
When you write on the wall, is it sort of a like fugue state or something for you? Like, is it clear that you're
Oh,
that
I
Geralt is
had
in
to
a
go into a
different
pretty
mental
deep,
place?
pretty much the second I threw up when I heard Filthy talking earlier, or Eugen talking earlier, that kind of set my brain into a certain motion of seeing the letters and Governors Not Dead start swirling around internally, and so that's just kind of the manifestation of ultimately finding a word combination that works.
I have a
That's
a DM request.
Absolutely.
And can you, in the future, as this campaign continues or this happens, can you also let us know the hardships suffered by people, preferably children, in this town by the fact this leader escaping and causing this rebellion? Can you give us as much
Absolutely,
of a
I'll
sob
keep
story
you
both
informed.
sides?
Yeah,
'cause I
I'll
want to
keep you
watch.
informed
I
both
want to
sides.
watch my party go like
Oh,
Oh,
back
by the way,
and
up
forth.
in Amida, which you guys left, a bloody revolt. Many people are dying.
Perfect.
Filthy is trying to convince himself he's the good guy here, I think is what's going on.
Everyone's a good guy in their own story, Dolphin.
Uh-huh.
Even a Yugen.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
You're the
Ayugan
bad
is
guy.
completely in character as a Yuan-Ti.
Yep.
Everything he has done is absolutely understandable and justified.
Who's dog?
So with that, I'm assuming Ayugan, you'll be leading the guards. Are all of you coming as well, or I could understand if Fabregas wanted to not be there for the slaughter of the elves. Okay, yeah.
I invite him, and I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't want to. I ask him if he wants me to like try to capture it on paper or like maybe
We
I
can bring
get.
you back like a live one if you want to like participate.
Do you want? Yeah, I'm like, do you want the tattoo? The bit of skin with the tattoo?
I got plans. Visiting the temple this afternoon. You know, maybe some light sunbathing.
Okay.
Find a
Well,
tavern, preferably one that's got elves working there, or just elves there.
are you not coming to the elf slaughter? I was
No.
sure that you'd want to.
Oh, I had my fun. Arv deems it a dishonorable fight.
Okay.
Pathetic, weak elves just cowering in a sewer.
Okay.
And what about you, Grilt? Are you following along, or is that you going
No,
alone
I
with
don't want
these
to be
guards?
present for it.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
be...
that's how it works with atrocities. If you aren't there, even if you know about it, as long as you're not there directly, you're not at all morally responsible
you're not,
for it.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
responsible.
I won't feel any better being there, I figure.
Sure.
So absolutely.
We're learning a lot about practical ethics in this campaign. See, a lot of
Yeah.
people have ethics, but they're not practical.
That's right.
Yeah.
These are practical.
Sure.
So with that, the party will split up. Ayugan, you will be leading the guards down first into the sewer, and then towards where you know this doorway lies.
Yep.
You'll pass a few messages on the walls written in slime,
Okay.
all of which are completely meaningless to you.
Yep.
And have
Much
absolutely
like most written language.
no sense. As you get to the stone doorway that you know the elves lie at, were you waiting? Because you said, "Oh, I'll meet you back in 3 hours."
No, I go
Are you coming
immediately.
here?
Immediately
Oh, you go there
back.
immediately.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
Immediately
misleading
back.
as possible to the elves.
Absolutely. You will see motion in the sewer ahead. You're kind of heading up the mass of soldiers that are
Mhm.
behind you because you're guiding them to the stone wall. Although with you, right next to you, is in fact the general of the city,
Okay.
a very high-ranking soldier.
Sure.
who has decided to come here to assist.
Sure. There's
Um,
6 of them in the Empire, right? 6 of them in this city.
Uh,
4 corporals,
in
6 generals.
in the Empire as a whole of Feynman, there's only 7 generals.
Okay. You just turned
So,
one up me. I see.
He is it's the highest ranking military position under, of course, the Judicator himself.
Sure.
And as you guys are going, you will see motion and hear motion in front of you in the sewer. Footsteps appear to be going the opposite direction of you.
They're coming towards us, or they're moving further away. I'm not sure. You say the opposite direction. They're moving the opposite direction of me, or they're moving
Yeah,
away
further
from me?
away from you.
Okay.
They are fleeing.
I point to it to the general.
All right, hear it too. Men, come on. With that, you guys will increase your pace
Yep.
and begin chasing after them. He quickly barks some orders at some soldiers. One of them goes and runs the other way in order to have some people cut them off at the other another possible sewer exit.
Yeah. Internally, I'm quite disappointed. I was really looking forward to barring the door and lighting it all on fire, but I'm fine to run them down if I have to.
I was really looking forward to that.
For elves.
Well, somehow they were notified that the guards were coming.
They must have
Um,
sentries
somehow.
somewhere.
They
The
must have
poop
been aware
eyes.
somehow. So you and these guards are chasing down the elves. You have some other men going to stop them ahead, and at some point they are beset on both sides. You can see there are around 100 here. Among them, you do see Vulan, who has changed into robes.
I point her out immediately, letting him know that that's the leader.
Okay. This mass of elves has kind of been cornered to a wall as
Okay.
the soldiers fan out to surround them.
Do they have crossbows?
The soldiers do have crossbows, yes.
That's good.
That's good.
And I'm just curious, just sorry to interject. I know
Absolutely.
you don't care about alignments, Filthy, but what alignment are you again?
I think it's. I don't remember. I think it's good.
To be fair,
No.
you would consider what you are doing right now a good action,
Yeah, I agree.
and completely justified action.
I agree.
You have no moral dilemma about this whatsoever.
No, I thought I've been playing that very clearly.
Yeah,
Lawful,
absolutely.
good, stupid.
Yeah,
Lawful, good, stupid.
No.
definitely lawful good. If I've ever seen lawful good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the definition of lawful good. Alignments are very useful.
Incredibly useful.
Yeah.
So you can see Vulan kind of in the crowd as the crowd is getting pushed further and further back, and eventually they are in a corner, and the guards have them semicircle surrounded, and with that, Vulan has been shouting things in Elvish, which I don't believe you understand.
Okay. Just double checking. I don't think I do either. No.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah,
Some of the
there's
guards.
no way I would have learned dirty elf speech.
Yeah, I very much doubt that you would know Elvish. But some guards do understand what she's saying. And apparently she's trying to rally her men for this fight. They're outnumbered around 8-1.
Okay. If they are fighting and she is trying to rally someone, I would throw myself into wherever the fiercest of the fighting is and do my best to break the elves' morale by killing them as aggressively and as viciously as possible.
Absolutely. You guys aren't fighting quite yet. Kind of standing 30 feet in between the two groups as they rally themselves, and the soldiers rally themselves as well, trying to get as few casualties on their side as possible, obviously.
General, I will aid you
however-
in this, I say, and I will just raise my arms menacingly, my weapon and my shield.
Say, all right, men, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. And he thrusts his for them to charge. And as he does so, you hear Vulan recite something. You're unsure what. And a portion of the elves, including her, disappear.
Okay.
Specifically, those that in 6 seconds are able to get to her portal that she has placed.
Okay.
It will close immediately behind them. Of the 100 elves, 60 remain, not including her.
Okay. I don't know if I have time to react to this. Does this just catch me flat-footed by surprise, or am I able to do things?
You're able to do things specifically if you have, you're able to do things, but that's in the course of one turn.
Sure.
Is the portal, because it is a spell.
Okay. How far away is she from us?
I would say at the time of that she is.
Actually, will you do me a
From-
favor? Would you roll initiative for her so I can actually see if I have a chance to act? I think I'm probably not going to
Absolutely.
be back before her.
I would say that you still have an action because you were ready this entire time
Sure.
for the initial charge. You have one action before she gets in the portal.
Okay.
And I would say that she is 80 feet, 60 feet from you, because you are at the front of this these soldiers. You are essentially leading them with this general.
And in this world, attacks disrupt channeled magic, but they do not stop magic from being cast, correct?
Correct. They disrupt concentration, but not
Okay.
end a spell from being cast.
If I was cognizant enough of understanding that she's starting to cast, I would have immediately Misty stepped directly towards her,
Okay.
and I would have taken an attack at her.
I think that counterspell is in the game because stuff like that doesn't work in this game.
You can get.
Well, I'm going to
Keep
try
in
to
mind if
kill
you-
her. If I'm going
keep
before
in
her,
mind-
if I can one-shot her, I assume I can stop the spell from
But
being
you're
cast.
Misty stepping
If-
as a reaction, right?
If you one
You're
shot
not-
They're
her,
using an entire
wouldn't-
turn as a reaction to her taking her turn.
Well, this is why I asked to roll initiative. This is why I'm asking the DM, do I have an ability to react to this or not? And I guess what he's
I
saying,
would say so, but
Okay.
keep in mind, most of the people will not. Well, unless you're following them through the portal, you will be outnumbered significantly.
I'm not
This
trying
is
to.
a
I'm not tempting
dangerous
to.
action.
Well, I don't know if she's casting a portal. I just see her casting.
Yeah.
And my
You see
reaction
her
to that would
casting
be
a spell.
to blink towards her with Misty Step and attempt to
You
attack
can't
her.
do this mechanically as a reaction. You have to take a turn before she starts casting and
George?
choose to do it.
Misty Step is a bonus action, so he can do it on his turn. And I am saying that he goes one turn in front of her. You have one turn. Misty
Okay.
Step is a bonus action.
Yep. So I'm taking my bonus action. Appeared
You
next to
take
her.
your bonus
So-
action.
I'd like to
You
attack
can
her.
Misty Step
Doesn't
directly
work.
next to her. I'm not as worried about the mechanics as the story.
Yeah.
I do
Filthy's
mechanics in
evil
small scale
permeated
combat.
wall.
You Misty Step
Okay.
towards her.
I'd like to swing at her.
directly next to her. You disappear, fading into the ground before fading back right next to her.
All right.
Uh,
That's the
weapon
first
at the
attack.
ready. That does hit.
I'd like to add a level 2 smite to it.
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be an additional, 3d8?
I think it's 3d8. Yeah.
2d8 plus 1d8 per pass level 1.
Okay.
So, yep. And you can roll damage for the Warhammer. If you do
Okay.
kill her in a turn, it does end the spell because she is dead.
Yeah, and I'm going to attack for the second attack.
I would say your character at this point has inspiration if you wish to use it for advantage on this next attack. This is something
I-
you are inspired to do.
I absolutely would like to do that. Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you have
21.
21, and then you can roll damage for the second one.
Am I able to smite again in the same turn? I don't remember.
Smite is
I think it is, right?
yes.
Okay.
Smite is simply when you attack, you can choose to smite.
All right. I'm out of level 2 spell slots, so I'll use my level 1 spell slot for another smite.
So simply 2d8.
Yeah. That one I have a macro for, so that's 12. And then
Okay.
one more there. So, okay. So it's 17. 6 is 23 plus 8 is, what, 31?
Well, what's that 6 coming from? That's 6 bludgeoning.
Actually, I don't know where the fuck that 6 is coming from.
Yeah,
Fine.
I think you just click the Warhammer again. So you have 9 plus 8 plus
Okay.
12 plus 5, which is a total of 34 damage, which is not enough to one-shot her. She is a high-level mage,
Yep.
specifically a sorcerer.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I gave it my attempt, and I would not have felt true to myself if I had not attempted.
Absolutely, and that is something that you can do in a turn, is
Yep.
what you just did.
Yep.
So you appear next to her, and you, what's your weapon?
A warhammer.
Warhammer. You bludgeon straight into her. I'm gonna roll her a con save,
And I-
because you.
Sure, and I also just visually, this would appear. It would be very clear. My god's energy is smashing out of my hammer into it. It would be a very visual display. I want this also in front of the guards. I want to be very clear where my loyalties lie. That the general can
Absolutely.
see what's happening from this. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely.
And, but to be clear, and I'll look for either the DM to clarify or Filthy. Filthy can see the light of God radiating from his sword and everything like that, or his warhammer. But could anybody else see the light?
Well, he did use 2 holy smites, which are
Okay.
essentially spells.
Got it.
So yeah, this is lighting up your
Yeah,
hammer.
it's a like blackish red glow, very
Okay.
holy looking. Of
Very, very holy looking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because this is also keep in mind you do have a pact with a demon that gives you some of the power that you're using here as well.
His usually yellow eyes glow red, one of the holiest colors.
That's right.
Okay,
Red is
absolutely.
red. Yeah, red is one of the holy
So
colors.
you see a faint
Color
red
of blood.
glow come from under your mask, essentially your helmet.
Yep.
As you smash into her, you hear a crack of bone, and she cries out in pain. But as she does so, you see her finish casting the spell. A bright blue portal appears 5 feet from her, and she jumps into it.
Okay.
You can see other elves also start swarming into the portal. You can attempt to go in the portal after her,
Yeah.
which would make you very outnumbered.
Sure.
You can attempt to just fight some elves as they go past you, which would still keep you in the thick of the remaining elves, which would be dangerous.
Okay.
And you could attempt to, at this point, withdraw slightly.
Okay. I guess I would instinctually, if I can, as she moves away from me, swing at her.
Say again.
If I don't know, is she just she's moving out of my reach, right?
Technically, she is moving out of your reach, and she cannot disengage, as that is an action which she's using to cast this spell.
Am I able to?
You would
attack
have.
her?
You could have one opportunity attack on her. You would need to roll pretty much max damage on everything.
Okay, we'll attempt it. You're telling me there's a chance.
There is a incredibly small chance. Although the portal is already opened, elves will escape.
Sure, but this would be one less elf escaping.
This would be one less elf escaping. You can roll an opportunity attack.
Perfect.
16's actually not even enough to hit her.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Jorbs, you and your 1 in 100's giving me hope.
you smash. You hit some poor elf in the face. He's dead.
Oh, that's okay then. I mean, it's not as good.
But
as it could be.
she is not.
Okay.
And as she flees through the portal, she will say one word in common to you, and it is betrayer.
Do
and
I have
with
time
that-
to respond?
You can say a small word back if you wish.
Elf.
I knew it.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
She has fled through the portal with some amount of these elves. I'm going to say. So 20 people in total flee.
Okay.
The
Minus the
resulting
one I
battle,
killed with the mist of the warhammer.
He wasn't one of the ones that was going to be able to
Oh, okay.
flee, unfortunately.
Too bad.
Yeah.
So 20
He wasn't
people,
able to.
including her, flee. There are 79 remaining elves, as you have already killed one.
Perfect.
And now it's their turn. And
Yeah.
you're the only person within 60 feet of them.
That's fine.
That is true. So you are going to be somewhat swarmed, although there is a lot of chaos because this is also as the soldiers are charging in.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to bother with the specific roles of the battle. The elves are outnumbered at this point more than 10 to 1.
I love the idea of me standing in full plate mail, surrounded by my most hated enemy, and they're swarming around me like the dirty, infested elves they are, like all around me, like this holy moment with my god and myself alone in this chaos, That sounds amazing. It sounds exactly what a Yugen lives for.
I'm
Does-
really trying to
does Yugen
picture
get
this from
stronger?
a Yugen's point of view. Like, I'm picturing him, like, seeing himself standing proud and tall and bathed in light.
The
And there's all
bastion
these-
of my god's presence on
these
this world.
kind of, like, frail, like, demonish-looking elves, you know, lanky, like, long, elongated limbs. You know?
They're poor. They
Yeah.
don't live in very nice
Downtrodden.
houses, or
They're like...
low.
They've been
they're
living in the
hissing,
sewers for way too long. So
a lot of them aren't very well educated because the
Yeah.
government has failed
Yeah.
decades.
They throw
Yeah.
poop as a weapon.
Yeah, and wait, this is from a Yugen's point of view?
No.
So what I am gonna have you do, I'm assuming you're like actively fighting still.
I am doing my
Um,
best to slow or kill as many as possible that are running to the portal. And once that's done, I'm just doing my best to kill as many as possible as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. You are heavily outnumbered in the thick of this.
That's fine.
There are soldiers supporting you from range and charging in as well.
Never outgunned.
Your attacks aren't as meaningful here. You're attacking as many as you can,
Yep.
doing as much as you can.
Just really trying to cause as much, like, you know, this is a warhammer against unarmored targets, presumably.
Mhm.
So I'm really just trying to do my absolute best to just break bones,
Cripple.
spaces,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
You have, I would say, 5 turns until rescue.
Okay. For 60 foot, what are they doing?
You're
Obeying
in
the
combat.
rules.
They're
Sure.
doing combat, having to push through and
Sure.
kill all these elves.
So
so
you're telling me
you
I
have-
have
Step
5
out,
turns for
I guess.
40? Okay.
Yes, you have 5 turns.
Jorbs, you'll like this. I used both my level 2 spell slots to attempt to smite her to death, so there's no more Misty Steps.
You could level. Oh, you can't level Misty Step because you're not a full spellcaster.
Yep. So you have 5 turns that you have to live.
Okay.
I would say that I'm not going to worry about attack rolls. This is horde rules.
Okay.
You will take.
I mean, you're
On the
doing a
first
lot to
turn-
reinforce the image of the elves as rats right now, because they're now a horde of elves.
A horde of elves.
That's right.
That's true.
Yeah.
We should be cautionary about
First turn, you're going to take 13 damage.
characterizing the elves as
Okay.
hordes. Which are
Two things that I want to just put out there, either of which I don't know if are relevant to this. You're going to be. Do I have ways to in each turn to modify my health in response to this? And-
Absolutely, you can respond to each turn. Yes.
And does the shield spell do anything in this status? Since we're not doing individual rolls, you want to calculate that in some way?
You have a shield spell.
Sure
Ooh,
do.
you do have shield. Shield at that's what 27 AC.
Yes. As I said, I'm not worried about a horde of fucking unarmored elves.
At 27 AC, you cannot be hit that much by these people.
be
So
crit.
Good.
you can be crit.
Yep.
It would significantly reduce the amount of damage that you would be taking that turn.
I would be using that as needed.
Okay. So you do take that 13 damage.
Okay.
Brings you down to
I got it.
this.
Oh, you got it. Okay.
Next turn, you said you're shielding.
Yep.
Okay.
I would. It's tough to imagine this because it's weird with like the idea of a horde. Versus
Well, that turn you
individuals.
couldn't shield because shield is a reaction, which you already took as your
Oh,
opportunity
good call.
attack.
Good call. Yep.
So next turn you can shield, and reduce the damage significantly.
Okay.
You have 3 turns left. Are you shielding the next turn as well?
Probably. Yep. Yes. Yes. For these rules, yes, I would.
Okay. You shield the next turn as well. Take 8.
Okay.
You can adjust your health.
Okay.
You have only 1 level 1 spell slot left. Are you shielding one more? You
I
have
am.
2 turns left to live.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have 2
Shield
left. I have
once
a
more.
warlock slot and the paladin slot.
Okay.
So
You take another 10.
okay. And I'll shield the last round as well.
Okay. And you shield the last round as well, and take another 8.
Okay. During this fight, I would also, if assuming I'm fighting, I would have used my Hexblade's curse on something near me. So when I kill that elf, I will regen some health from it. Just putting that out.
Absolutely. 1
Okay.
plus charisma, 5 HP.
Okay. So I take 3 from this then. Like add.
Where does
5,
that
okay.
come from? What class?
His warlock subclass.
Warlock level 1?
Yeah, he is Paladin 5, Warlock 1.
Nice.
So by the time the rest of the soldiers get to me, I imagine that I am battered, standing in a circle of elf corpses with elf blood like splashed all over me, and just this divine light glowing off my shield as these hordes of elves are attempting to pull me into the underworld.
Yeah, because you're casting shield every turn, which
Yep.
covers you in a radiant light.
Yep.
Keep in mind that your shield spell comes from the demon that you have made a pact with. So it is
Roughly the same colors of my god, then.
roughly the same color. It's kind of black and red shadowy mist
Sure.
that is defending you from these attacks.
Excellent.
As you repeatedly smash these elves to death.
Perfect.
The slaughter is complete, other than the 20 that fled. None leave here alive. The soldier casualties are actually quite minimal. You took a whole lot of the brunt.
Yep.
As you stood there with 27 AC and tanked.
Cool. Out of curiosity, just totally just me wondering mechanically for that. What
Yeah,
were you
absolutely.
doing for? So how did you calculate ACN for a horde? Tell me just roughly what you did with that. I'm really curious. For, like,
Say
where were
again?
you getting the numbers from for your rolls for the damage?
For my damage rolls, complete choice. It was going to be if you didn't shield, it was going to be 3d10.
Okay. And it was 2d10 with that. Okay, I got you. So you're basically
uh,
improvising.
it-
Cool. It was cool. I like it.
2d10 was only for the first turn because people were still trying to get through the portal and stuff. You weren't fully surrounded.
Gotcha.
But I thought that would be a threatening enough number that it could get through your hit points, but
Yeah.
it might not necessarily.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So with that, you are covered in elf blood, and these soldiers are celebrating. Unfortunately, you were unable to kill the leader. She did manage to flee, although you did severely wound her. Especially, with that last thing, you did hear the crack of bone.
Good.
Um,
Hopefully, it's a permanent injury that causes pain that she can't treat for the rest of her life.
you gave her chronic back pain.
Fantastic.
There you go.
So with that, the soldiers will help you back to the thing. They will celebrate you along the way. Cheers and battle cries. A few of them offer to buy you drinks. You are generally very well liked amongst these men, including the general, who gave you a nod of respect and said, good job out there. You fought well.
Thank you. Against elves, we must give it our all.
Here, I'd like to speak with you in private for a moment.
Of course.
As we return. And once you do so, he says, you and your friends were instrumental in getting those rats out of our sewers. I'd like to give you a handsome reward. He will plop down a heavy sack onto your table, or onto the table in front of you, and say, it's all yours. You have my thanks.
That's the worst intro to a porn I've ever heard in my life.
Looking through the sack, it is filled with gold coins.
Fantastic.
So he gave you 400 gold right here.
Dolphin, can that be added to the party funds, or is this blood
Yeah.
money?
Fun.
And
No,
therefore,
It's up to you.
I
If
didn't
you're adding
want
it to the
that
party
other-
funds, you can do so.
I
If
don't
you're
want it.
taking it for yourself.
I would
Get
like.
away from me.
Yeah, I would
This
like.
is your blood money for selling out
Fantastic.
the elves.
Absolutely, that sounds great. I would love to add it to the party inventory.
The only thing I didn't add the value of the bag we got from the elves the first time around for accepting their payment before accepting the soldiers' payment.
Oh, do you want me to add that to my personal one then?
No, I just don't
It's
know how
50.
much it's worth.
50 gold.
Yeah, it was 50 gold, and then
Gold.
trinkets that you could sell and gemstones that you could sell to the right buyers for probably another 100 in total.
Alright, well, there you go.
Here's the wedding locket of the elves that just got killed in the sewer.
Yeah.
What's it go for? The camera zooms out and it's this like very immensely racist tavern where right there.
Filthy is the moral compass of our group. We don't have to like it, but he is.
You guys made the conscienceless Yuan Ti the moral leader of your group.
Let's not sell me short. I do worship a god, and the god has morals, and he's a blood sacrifice god. I mean,
And Fabregas
God of
is
death.
the right-hand man. I have the ability to temper the Yonti's, drive at
Moralness.
times. I believe that he can be saved and brought back to the light.
I never left the light.
I thought that at the start of the session. I mean,
Oh, I see. That makes more sense.
No longer. So with that, you guys do now know where the Dragon Horde is.
Fantastic.
You have received the blood money.
Is it in
as
fact
well as-
coated in blood?
I was gonna say, is this in-world blood money at this
Uh,
point?
no,
No,
because
it's
it was
the general's
it was
goal.
the
It's
general's
It's the DM is
personal.
morally judging us. Okay, I just wanted to.
Oh yeah. Very
So,
interesting moral choices.
Yeah. We killed the farmer pixels.
But you did. So the Dragon Horde is available to you guys when you wish to go there.
And we have protected the city from a hostile rebellion, which we have cost
From an elf threat.
many loyal soldiers and loyal families of the Empire their lives and their businesses. So
would you say stopping the dragon from killing the guards in the castle or stopping the elves from trying to find food and education for their children was more significant of an accomplishment for Ayugan?
well, for Yugen, certainly it was more joyful stopping the elves. The letting the elves run loose in the city was never a good idea from the get-go. So I would certainly say the elves would be more consequential.
We're an
Dragons,
enemy within the walls
Yeah.
already.
yeah, we are
They do-
purging the corruption that is already besetting our cities and our people.
They do invite you to stay. Tomorrow there will be more than 100 public executions.
It's a good time for a union.
Gathered from the city.
Yeah, as they conduct a
Does
purge.
you could even have a reason to continue adventuring with the rest of the party? I feel like you might be home. Kid in a candy store here.
They will offer you if you want to help with the executions. They would let you as a guest of honor.
If you want to do that for a day, the rest of us will go get the gold from the Dragon Horde. That's fine.
Can I?
Executioner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You should probably go to the Dragon Horde too.
Yeah, I figured as
So-
much. I would personally offer to, if need be, help. If any of the prisoners surrendered, any of the elves surrendered, I would personally have offered to have sacrificed them to my god in that moment. But if that did not occur, I wouldn't stay. I don't think. I think our mission's timely.
Okay, understandable. But in that moment, you actually did get. No. Unfortunately, none surrendered.
Okay.
So you weren't able to perform any blood sacrifices.
Okay.
On prisoners. I mean, I would say you would consider what you did a blood sacrifice of sorts.
Yeah, it was definitely
Yeah.
a part of worship for my god. It was very.
Oh, absolutely.
It felt very
Absolutely.
connected in that moment to him. Yeah. Yeah, bits of them surrendered. Sure.
Individual parts.
Yeah, like
and
that
pieces.
hand. That hand clearly surrendered. Sure. Yeah, the hand clutched around like a photo of its child. Anyway, yes.
I think this is probably a good spot to stop if you guys want.
Fantastic.
Episode.
Really enjoyed that a lot. I'm gonna cut the part here. Oh my gosh.
It was an excellent session.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.